Yeah.
No, if we want change, we must have great ideas like the one you just articulated. We must come on podcasts. We must talk to people. We must engage mothers who do vote and care about their kids to join, partner with us to change the country.
Yeah.
And they are listened to by every politician in the country. They might not listen to me, but suburban moms, soccer moms, they listen to them. And they worry a lot about them because they are the ones that win elections for them. So it's not that children don't have a vote, it's that we have not figured out the right strategy to go after those moms to help us help their kids. And that's on us. We own that. It's our own fault. Let's get out of that triangle of misery. We're not victims.
Yeah.
We have the power to change, but
Yes.
we need to do the work that takes to change.
Somebody has to lobby. Interesting. I play in a band with a lawyer, and I was having a discussion with him the other day. So this AI chat GPT stuff, why would I need to have you write me a contract and pay you thousands and thousands of dollars when I could just tell it to make me a contract for an employed physician with the following important topics? He says, that only, aren't you afraid of ChatGPT for the lawyer department? He says, no way, doc. The lawyer lobby would never allow that. There's always some overlord or something
Yeah,
that will prevent that from putting us out of business. Not like you doctors.
I'll tell you that
Not like you doctors.
advocacy is a big part of what we do at the Academy. And to put on my hat there a little bit, last year at the NCE, they came out with a policy statement on Medicaid reform, which was incredibly wide-ranging, incredibly logical, talked about the things that we're talking about, undervaluing the care that we provide children and the ROI of children's care. And it came out and it's essentially gone nowhere because how do you get uptake from that in Congress when you don't have the ability, the dollars, and the manpower that the lawyers do or the pharmaceutical companies do to send people there? We're working now on a statement on alternative payment methods, and that has to do with value-based care. And I've made the point clearly what I said about preventive care being handled differently from sickness care.
absolutely.
But advocating for this when you're fighting against lobbies such that are huge, such as the bar, such as pharma, such as even the AARP, we're fighting against our kids' own grandparents in a large respect.
So you're
Uh,
asking for money. Don't we pay dues?
I'm asking for money. Do you know how much our dues are and how much it costs to do a lobbying effort? The AAP has incredible staff in DC, but there are few of them and they have a limited amount of stuff that they can do. We don't have anywhere near the dollar volume or the vocal volume that these other organizations do. And that's why it's important that each of us adds our voice, because if we don't, we get drowned out and we get drowned out anyhow. But when there's more of us there, we have a better chance of doing the
Correct.
one-on-one contact that it can take to get stuff done behind the scenes. And again, the staff that works with the AAP and state and government affairs is an incredibly dedicated staff, but there are few of them, and the amount of stuff that's on their plate is massive. And it's massive because this is a massive dollar amount that we're talking about here. But even something as simple as taking a new view to preventive care, how do we actually get that done? Because as you said, Herb, Medicaid is a problem because it's 50 states, all with slightly different rules and regulations. How do we get to change Medicaid to make it more uniform across the country? Because if we could do that, then we could get a universal preventive care services in place. It's there with the EPSDT program, which does specify the basics. And yet insurance companies and Medicaid payers routinely flaunt the EPSDT rules and don't pay for things that they should. So number one, there's no uniformity of requirements. Number two, there's no uniformity of enforcement. And doing that costs money too. And who's going to pay for that?
I think the vocalization is the easy part, but we have to vocalize the important things too, right? Because if I don't exist, there's not going to be anybody to take care of these little children. Let's talk about my favorite topic, CPT code G2211. All
Oh,
right.
you're
That
teasing.
was brilliant when it came out from Medicare. I said, this is going to be a savior for everybody. And it worked for a while. Okay. You had some companies that paid for it. Medicare covered it. It was a little add-on for those that don't know what G2211 is, that longitudinal relationship between the physician office and the patient, care coordination, talking to people, getting them in, access, being a doctor, only paid to doctors, not urgent cares in hospitals. It added an extra 20, $30. I forget how much the number was. And that was great.